Hello once again. Let me tell you why I don't consider King Charles III to be my king. Now, personally, I have very, very mixed feelings about the coronation. The service and the pomp was written by our forefathers and based on the Christian principle, which means following the Christian doctrine and presumably the Ten Commandments. But Charles is a few short of 10, and so is his adulterous wife and her cuckolded husband, who just happened to be attending the service and applauding it. I'm no angel, but then again, I don't profess to be the supreme governor of the Church of England. And Charles III is certainly not the first king to be attracted to pussy. King Henry VIII reformed the church to get his pussy, and in doing so divided a nation of Catholics and Protestants, which still continues this day. And then we had King Edward VIII. He even gave up the throne and abdicated for his pussy. And even worse than that, he became a Nazi sympathiser and was eventually banished to a foreign country by Churchill to get him out of harm's way. And then we come to Prince Andrew, who preferred underage pussy and got into serious trouble because of it, but paid off the accuser with a few million quid, paid for by the Queen. But actually, it wasn't the Queen, it's the taxpayer that paid that bill. But Prince Andrew was still there in the audience, along with many undesirables such as Tony Blair and Penny Mordaunt. Penny Mordaunt, you might ask? Look her up and her connection with 2030. Please do. Now, dare I even mention the Duke of Edinburgh and the link to Christine Keeler trial in the 60s? Maybe it was a rumour, maybe not. And now, the crown monarch is supposed to be apolitical, which means he has no political voice. But Prince Charles and the King, all of his life has been extremely politically motivated, famously pushing climate change and the green agenda, advocating net zero, which many leading scientists call nothing but climate alarmism. Now, because of his position, he has enormous influence, and that is exactly why he should be silent, especially in matters like the World Economic Forum and its members. It has been said that you can judge a man's character by whom he chooses as his friends. And some of Charlie Boy's friends are definitely shady, to say the very least. Jimmy Savile was one, who eventually was found out to be a notorious paedophile. Who was, by the way, known by the BBC. But they kept it quiet for years. And the BBC is a shameful institution, even to this day. And another great friend of Charlie Boy is Klaus Schwab, the leader of the World Economic Forum. Now, the question is, will Charlie Boy break his friendship with Klaus Schwab? Who will know? We won't know. Now, Charles, being kind to him, he never got on with his father, the Duke of Edinburgh. I think probably because he sent him to a public school he didn't enjoy and he was bullied because of his weak character. But his main influence in life was Lord Louis Mountbatten, and he called him his adopted grandfather. Not a good choice, I can assure you. Mountbatten, by all accounts, was a very immoral man, and he outwardly encouraged his wife's affair with the then Prime Minister of India, Nehru. And he only did that so that he could pursue his perverted interest in young boys. And apparently this was the main reason he was assassinated in that boat. So the story goes. Now, apart from all the documented history, the real queen should have been Diana. But as we all know, she was driven out by her husband's adulterous affair with Camilla. And Diana was brought to the edge of suicide and eventually driven out of the royal family because she refused to be part of the firm, and consequently died in a car crash in Paris. And this is what the monarchy has become. It's a car crash waiting to die. So consequently, I most certainly do not recognise him as my king or ever will. Now, the coronation apparently cost in excess of £250 million of taxpayers' money, when young children in this country are going hungry. Shameful doesn't even come close to describing it, and the media laps it up like a puppy dog. Some people would say that I'm being treasonous. Well, bring it on. All I've stated are uncomfortable truths that people don't want to hear, and platforms like this censor it as misinformation. Prove me wrong. Please do. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.